like I said though, we got some topics today. Typically, we might talk about the One Piece episode, or we might talk about something else. But the way that these topics have lined up today, we don't need no extra like fluff, nigga. We got this is gonna be some heat that's gonna take the time of the pod. So we gonna jump straight into it with the calmest one, and even then, this might turn into a little bit of an argument of some sort. The only non-anime take on here. What do you guys feel after watching Game of Thrones through and through? What do you guys feel is the bigger fuck up between the men of House Stark? You think Ned telling Cersei that he knows the truth out of honor to try to give her a head start for whatever his reasons were? He thought Robert would kill her or whatever the case may be. Is that a worse mistake than Robb breaking his vow to the phrase that leads to the Red Wedding, or vice versa? Which one do you guys think is worse? James, you can go first.
Before though, can we just acknowledge both of those are dumb mistakes?
Yeah.
Let's get on that page. Both of those are stupid mistakes.
The Starks are. I'm currently partially rewatching, not like a hard rewatch. I'm rewatching through this couple I'm watching react to. Shout out Bridgeco. But on that point of emphasis you just made, this nigga Littlefinger literally when he brings Ned to see Kat in the brothel or whatever, he literally Ned chokes this nigga out before realizing that she's actually in there. And then when he lets him go, Littlefinger is like, the Starks, quick tempers and slow minds. So like they're not the smartest niggas in the world, bro.
No. And me personally, as huge of a fuck up as it was for this nigga to show his hand, Ned, speaking of Ned, Robb breaking his vow to the phrase was a bigger fuck up in my mind. It held too much weight, and it was just like implicated, like the repercussions of this nigga's fuck up lasted a couple different generations. Like we didn't even need to be in this situation. We literally did. It's a dumb fuck up.
Yeah.
Yep. This nigga Ned is just loyal to a fault, and so you know how that go. This nigga just was the wrong person to be in. To be fighting
King's Landing?
to King's Landing. There it is. It's just.
If it's any
nigga just should have stayed in the North, man. That's it. If any nigga, yes.
If it's any nigga that didn't need to be in the game, like to play the Game of Thrones, it's
it's that nigga.
He was too honorable, bro.
Yeah,
Way
too
honorable.
He didn't even know the game. He didn't even know there was a game. That's how he moved about it.
Yeah.
Like he told her directly, like as if there was some sort of honor that they would be living by that he lives by, and it's not.
Bro, my nigga, they threw your son out of a tower. Episode 1.
Yeah, it's not the case. And then
there is no honor.
And then too, even if you really felt like there was some sort of honor or good way to move, just think about what you just discovered. You just discovered that the lineage is not what they saying that it is.
And they trying to take over the kingdom.
Exactly. So why would you not then change how you moving? Why would you go to them, tip your whole hand? He ain't even give you a little insight. He told Cersei directly, this is what I found out. I'm going to tell everybody. She's like, okay. Like, like, what are you talking about, bro? So,
in her mind, she probably heard him say that and was like, oh, this nigga is so much dumber than what I thought he was.
Yeah, dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
So
he has every other trait to make a really good leader. But like that specifically, it don't matter what era. Could you imagine Ned trying to maneuver in the House of the Dragon era? Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, he didn't understand that world, which like what James was saying, it made no sense for him to even go up there. Like he should have just stayed where he was, doing what he was doing. Like he didn't need to get mixed up in that world that he didn't understand.
Yeah.
And then was trying to actively figure it out and just tried to go about things his own way. And it's like, bro, that's just not how it's gonna be up here.
Yeah.
And ultimately got his fucking head cut off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, Jermaine, we don't have to discuss your answer. I'm assuming you're
the same
aligned
exact
with
thing.
James.
Yeah, same exact thing. And it's like again, they're both stupid for two different reasons. Ned's is because he just full showed his hand, thought he was going about it a certain way, and didn't understand the sort of politics and how power actually works up there, right?
Yeah.
And then for Robb, it's stupid because it was like an arrogant stupid.
Yeah.
He thought that because he had all the power, which he did in a sense, because he had the power, because he had the motion, he had the Lannister army and stuff on their heels. He felt emboldened by all that, and he's young, and he got all these people united underneath him. That okay, what's the word of an old man type shit? Like I'm a move how I want to move,
especially because he was a coward. So
exactly.
They already looked at Walder Frey as a nigga they could walk over, and he said that when he killed him. He was
exactly. So
it was like,
so he just felt so emboldened by everything around him that he was just gonna move how he wanted to move instead of one being a man of his word first and foremost, and two doing what needs to be done. There's nowhere that says that you can't marry somebody else down the line or, have multiple wives. I mean, especially during that time, like niggas is wilding out.
Come on,
right?
Bro.
But nigga. But like you said, both of them are dumb. And before I get to which one I pick, which I mean, it's pretty clear which one I pick since y'all are on one side and I'm on the other. But before I even get to why I think the way I think, Robb to me is, like you said, they're both stupid. But there's two reasons why I feel like Robb is a fucking idiot for what he did. One is what you just said. You're in an era where the Lannisters are trying to take over the throne, and then when they did, they let this nigga Joff have his way as the king. And like you said, you can do whatever you want when you become the king. And she even told him that in season 1. She's like, "You are my darling boy, and you will be king, and the truth will be whatever you make it." And so that's true. When you become the most powerful nigga in the realm, it don't matter, and you can have multiple wives if you genuinely want to. Especially, this is where I'm going with it. For him, he was looked at as fucking Iron Man. He was untouchable. They were winning, and he literally didn't lose a single battle. Let's say you successfully just grind it out. You keep her there on the side. You grind it out. You get the kingdom because he didn't know what he was going to do once he won. Probably wins and becomes king. If you win and become king, then yes, bro, you can take a second wife. No one's going to give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one's going to care. You think that's what niggas are going to care about?
Yep.
No one's going to care. And if you genuinely wanted to, you could have said fuck all and just let go of her and just remarried with her. Because who was going to try you? The phrase after you became king?
Yeah, at that point, when you have all the power, you could do what you want.
No.
Yeah, you could do what you want.
At that point, when you had all the power, his mindset was, I already have said power.
Exactly. And I that's why I say his was more stupid along the lines of arrogance. He felt so arrogant to just be able to be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Essentially, even to the point too, just wraps it up in his arrogant stupidity. Knowing what you did, you go to him like a man. You own up to it. Cool. But you don't say that one. You don't think there's no repercussion for that?
Right.
No. Oh, so you didn't even say the second reason as to why I think it's them. Because for me, Robb's is more arrogance, Ned's is more stupidity.
Yeah.
But the second one, the second reason of why I do like the actual stupidity and what he did, why would you bring her with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You
crazy.
You brought her and the heir to at least Winterfell.
Yeah.
If y'all don't take over the kingdom, she's with child. What are you doing?
Like
that
was just
dumb.
so like you was just so green. Like you could do whatever you want, and you march in the hit spot, and like
green,
come on, bro.
Tywin literally called him a green boy when the war started.
Yeah.
And then other people were saying that, but then it got to the point Tywin had to put respect on his name. He was like, this green boy is beating the fuck out of us right now. Like, we can't do anything. And it didn't matter because at the end of the day, he was still green, and that led to his death.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would lean to. I think he just made just grave miscalculations when there was the end goal was so much bigger. You literally could have took over everything, avenged your dad, all this stuff, right? Eradicated the Lannister bullshit that they had it going on. And you said no because of a female. Like,
think about how much of a I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but think of how much of a ripple effect that happens to the show if Robb wins the war and becomes king. He's exponentially more inclined to believe Jon and these niggas at the wall when they start sending letters to King's Landing talking about these White Walkers is back.
Yeah,
thousands of years.
Yes.
Because Robb is a Stark, so he already has the history of it. But then it's Jon. He's not gonna think Jon's fucking crazy.
Yep.
And then if Jon tells him this nigga Benjen is dead, he ain't came back, like it's something going on, then they handle that completely different. And so then at that point, the only person or people that they have to worry about is Daenerys and them.
Yep. But and then you're already 10 times stronger because you come from the North. And we know that was a big thing, unifying the North with the rest of the everything that the king controls and shit like that. So you come from that and you already have these niggas unified, and now you just bring that into the fold. Like, he would have been on a different level. He would have been on a different tier.
Robb could have become one of the greatest, most powerful kings in fiction. Like, if he played his cards right.
Sold the bag. Sold the bag.
Literally.
The bag.
And then, so real quick before I say that, off of what you just said, based on the people from the North and the power that they bring and the manpower that they have, that's why I think even though it'll get to a point where it looks bleak for House Black, I think that's why we'll end up winning, because the North just has too many people. And I think they're putting emphasis on like them coming through slowly, and it's been a certain amount of time with them getting there slowly. I think they'll have like a late entrance. The North will.
Yeah.
And then I think that'll be what gives us the edge. But I digress. The reason that I think Ned's is worse is because after we just had that maybe 10-minute conversation, none of that shit is needed if Ned just fucking plays his cards right. I think when you really look at it, Ned had the show in the palm of his hand. Having Cersei's secret, because here's the thing, a lot of people want to talk about like, oh well, Robert came back dead anyway because of the boar and shit. Okay, but he still had a conversation with this nigga, and whether he knew for sure or not, this nigga knew something fishy was going on or something like that, because he gave Ned control of the kingdom until Joffrey became of age. So he didn't fully trust these niggas anyway.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't tell Cersei, you wait till he gets back, even if he's about to die, you give him this information when you have the one-on-one that they had, then this nigga, he tells you how to move. Because he was the one who won the rebellion. He was the one who took over. He became king. He's going to know how to move.
Mm-mm.
He can then tell you who to go talk to, who to trust. This nigga, when you look at it the way that Ned played it, it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Neither does Robb's. I'm not trying to say his doesn't. I think Ned's just makes significantly less fucking sense because he had the win. He had the win. He literally had the win. And then he just told the main villain of the series, I know the truth. And that's like Jermaine was saying. She was like, nigga, okay. she was like, oh, you're dumb. You're stupid. You told me. Oh yeah, nigga, you ain't making it out of King's Landing. That's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, the tough thing when it comes to him though, which I think is hard to criticize him, is like from the outside, from our perspective, yes, he had to win. He could have moved a certain way and all this stuff, especially as we see how the show gets on, how people wield their power. But for him, he's only going off of what he knows.
What he knows.
So he doesn't understand the politics. He doesn't understand how power truly is wielded in this environment. Even like if you look at, like you were talking about how Joffrey, essentially did what the fuck he was supposed to do. He did to an extent though. He didn't. Certain moves weren't made unless Tywin made them or unless Cersei made them. Niggas who really had real power, like it wasn't coming from the figureheads, which is why people like Tyrion and Varys are so important, and Littlefinger, because they knew how to wield power. So it's like it's him in that environment. He truly didn't know how to function, and that, I mean, it showed, because even like he had to talk with Cersei. And then they're in the hall, and he's challenging and all this stuff. And I have this written thing from Robert and this, that, and the third. Bro, they didn't care about none of that.
That's why she ripped that shit up. She was like, nigga, she said, she was like, you came here and your best defense is a piece of paper.
Who gives a fuck?
She like, nigga,
who gives a fuck?
And that's the difference. Honor don't mean shit.
No, because we have
so
power,
sad.
We have influence, we have backdoor dealings,
Yep.
we have everything already set up that it don't matter how much weight your name hold. It don't matter who you are. If you ain't ingrained in this flow, bro, it don't matter.
Yeah, they don't care. I think I fully agree. But then my biggest issue with is discussing these two against like what's worse is the fact that Robb had an outside effect on what happened versus Ned. If you take both of them exactly what they did, there's no way you can look at it if they do the same thing. So Robb still breaks his vow to them and he still gets the other girl pregnant, and then Ned tells, if you just keep it the same way, Ned doesn't have something else that fucked him, that got him there. Robb does. It wasn't just his cell. Cat sold by letting Jaime go. Let's put, like, if you really look at the context of what happened. No. He did not need the phrase, bro. He didn't. The only reason he went back to the phrase is because she let Jaime go, which led, I forgot if it was the Carstarks, or the one that started with a U. I forgot. But one of those heads of the families then killed those boys. And then Robb had to make the decision to discipline them and kill them. He had to execute them. And then the minute he executed that nigga, his entire part of the army left. And that's why because you have to understand, this nigga Robb he literally had them on their heels at Casterly Rock. He was going to cut them off by the west, and it was done. If he took Casterly Rock, the next target was the King's Landing, and they didn't have enough, bro. Stannis and these niggas almost won, and they didn't have the numbers that Robb and them had. I think if she doesn't sell him, I think he gets away with it. Is it stupid still? Yes, but that, to me, the question isn't about which dumber, it's about what's worse. I think Ned's is worse because there was no way he could have came out of it. This nigga still had a chance. Cat sold that shit. Him having to, he literally had, that's the only reason he went back. He didn't go back because he wanted to. He knew what he did, and he knew he would have to face it at some point. But I don't think it was his first, second, third, fourth, or fifth choice to go back into that nigga's hall at all. But see, then you get to the point where he did do stupid shit. Like, he brought the girl with him. He brought the heir with him. Like, that's dumb, yes. But I think Cat sold that nigga more than his decision was stupid. Because he could have won still, bro.
I don't know. I feel because I definitely agree that played a huge part in it. I think it made it easier for Tywin to make a decision in aligning with the phrase. But I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I really believe that Tywin wouldn't have given a fuck that Jaime was caught and still would have aligned with it and slaughtered them niggas anyway.
No. If Jaime was caught, it didn't matter what it didn't matter what he would have had to do. Tywin was gonna get Jaime back. It don't matter.
I don't know.
Tywin loved that nigga. Tywin, no matter how stupid Jaime was and the dumb shit he did and the fuck ups he made, didn't matter. Tywin loved that nigga.
I think Tywin loved the idea that he was the heir to Castle Rock. I don't think that Tywin loved that nigga for him.
I think it was both. I wholeheartedly think it was both.
I don't know.
I do. Because you got to think, Jaime was a sworn Kingsguard, so he gave his shit up. He could have no titles. He could have no lands. Tywin didn't give a fuck. Tywin didn't care. Tywin literally did not care. He didn't care at all. And then you look at the shit Jaime did. Like, they hated each other, but they loved each other a ridiculous amount. Because look at the reason why Jaime killed the Mad King. He killed him because even though he was the Kingsguard and his duty was to protect this nigga, he was fine with the Mad King doing everything else. But the minute this nigga said that he had to choose, he had to go kill his dad, Jaime said, yeah, watch this. Fuck all that. Jaime said, fuck that. Jaime was watching him burn niggas alive. He didn't care. The minute he said Tywin is a op, Jaime said, watch this, nigga. So